This offseason, shooting was a concern for the Kentucky Wildcats. We talked about it, and some fans were more worried than others, but it was a talking point. I think we all calmed down a little bit about the shooting. Once we saw the stats, some of these players were lighting it up from deep. We all felt a little bit better about it heading into the season. I think the win over Purdue kind of quieted these concerns, even though if you look at the stats, the three-point shooting wasn't elite against Purdue. And then, of course, it was quite concerning as the offense was as a whole against Georgetown. We're going to talk about the shooting. I've seen it on social media, Carson. People are freaking out about the shooting. We're going to kind of have the conversation, hopefully try and talk people off the ledge a little bit. Should we be concerned? Why is it going to get better? Why is it going to stay the same? That is the conversation on today's episode of the Wildcats Today Podcast. Good news for Carson. We started to record the first one, and my internet wasn't doing the best. The whatever we have here is terrible. So be better, whoever you are. I really don't remember who it is, and Carson looked like he was ready to kill somebody. I mean, that was the most Monday look. It looks like you turned it on a little bit now. I mean, my gosh, you were like, this was Carson for the intro of the one we had to delete. That's what he looked like.
No,
it was. Oh, it was for sure. But now I saw a smile, so we're ready to rock and roll here. Gosh.
Oh yeah.
Act like it's not Monday. You gained an hour of sleep, I think, too. Come on.
Oh yeah.
But we'll add the blue-white game in this conversation just for craps and giggles. I don't think it's real. But so let's just, between the 3 times we have seen this basketball team play an actual game, okay? We're going to count the blue-white game, but not as much as the other 2 games. 26.9% in the blue-white game, 7 for 26. 9 for 29 against Purdue, 31%. 7 for 30 against Georgetown, 23.3%. That is not going to get it done, Carson. And we've talked about it. Obviously, we are a team that wants to shoot the basketball. We want to shoot the rock. Pope wants to shoot it a lot. But what if we're not making them? What makes it there? So what are your thoughts about this, Carson? Are you concerned?
I wouldn't say I'm so much concerned about the shooting, the players on the team that can or can't shoot. I think the shot quality that we're taking right now has not been the best. I thought in the Georgetown game, it was a lot of one-on-one going on, and I think that led to some poor quality shots. So I think as the season prolongs, we need to get it together on offense and become a unit, which will allow for easier shots. But I think we do have shooters on this team. I mean, Trent Noah is a great shooter. Cam Williams is a great shooter. Jasper is a great shooter. It's about getting those guys the looks that they want.
Yeah, and I mean, as much as I hate to say it, Cam struggled. Trent Noah struggled against Georgetown. Those 2 guys did not have their best games, and we still believe in them, and we're not concerned massively. It was one game. I think that's the thing people forget. Like, you can have a bad game in any sport. And that could have been what just happened there. We just had a bad game. We could play these next 2 games and then beat the crap out of Louisville and look at this and go, okay, that was just a bad showing. That was a bad showing from us. That was what happened. That could be. But I personally, and the point of talking about the shooting is not to, incite fear in anybody or put I don't think that's the goal here. We're not trying to do that. It's a conversation that has to be had after now, 2 real and 3 kind of times seeing this team play a basketball game. And we have not shot the ball well. And what concerns me with that, Carson, is I don't look at us as a get it to the rim kind of basketball team. I mean, Otega always one of the best drivers in college basketball, one of the best players to get into the rim in college basketball. Obviously, we know that. But outside of him, I mean, people can get to the rim, but we got a lot of guys that I don't think that's their number one strength. That's not the number one part of their game. So it's not like we can just go, well, we'll abandon ship on the shooting and just start taking it to the rim. That's not how this team works. And I mean, the offensive flow against Georgetown, and we talked about it in that post game on Friday, Carson, was just atrocious in general. It was awful. It was an awful, awful offensive flow. There was nothing going on. There was no ball movement. It was a lot of nothing's happening. Everyone's standing still. Let's someone one-on-one and try and make a crazy shot, and it didn't go in. It was exactly what we said Jaland Lowe was getting away from, is what we saw against Georgetown.
Yeah.
So, and to speak on that name, I still want to see our basketball team play with Jaland Lowe.
That's what I was going to say.
Denzel Aberdeen out on the floor, and we hopefully we'll get to see that tomorrow. I think they're both going to suit up tomorrow night against Nichols, but it's still to be seen. But how much do you think the impact of having those two guys out there, not only they're shooting themselves, but what they create for others? Carson, what do you think that's going to do for this offense?
Yeah, I think it's going to be massive. I think you're going to see these numbers shoot up once these guys suit up. So I think, Denzel, for me, he's a great offensive player. He can get to the rim really easily. He's super athletic, and he can shoot the ball. But for me, he is so good defensively that he's going to be big on that side, kind of limit the other team. But I think Jaland Lowe is the biggest key to the three-point shooting and unlocking this offense, because he's going to be able to get into the lane at will. He's just so fast and he's honestly really tiny and can kind of work his way into the lane. And so when he gets back, he'll be able to get into the lane, finish, and then that'll only open up the offense and allow him to dish it out for open shots.
Yeah, I think Lowe. Aberdeen, I don't think is a bad shooter, but I definitely think he's going to be a streaky shooter. I think he's going to be a guy where he's going to go 2 for 8 one day or 2 for 7 one day from 3, but then he'll have a day where he goes 5 for 7. He's gonna be a guy that's gonna have some good days shooting and some bad days shooting. I think it's gonna equate to he shoots about 36% from 3 this year, somewhere around there. But Lowe, more than just his shooting. I mean, we talked about it. Obviously, last year at Pitt, he struggled at times shooting the ball from deep. So the hope is that in this system, he will be able to get more good looks. That's been the conversation we've had all offseason. Lowe will get better looks in the Mark Pope system. And hopefully we get to see that. What I saw when we were all at practice for that media day thing on Wednesday, Lowe looked good. Lowe looked like he was ready to play a basketball game. I think he's going to play tomorrow. That is my guess. It's still to be seen. Now, if you want to hold him out one game and then play him, I want him to play one before Louisville. So, but if you want to hold him out today and play him on Friday, that's fine. But I'll tell you this, and I'm not saying I'm worried about Nichols coming in here and winning this game tomorrow, but I mean, with how bad that offense looked, don't mess around, man. I mean, we gotta, don't mess around in any capacity. So, but I mean, Carson, I'll admit it. I think that I am a hair concerned about the shooting. And I'm trying not to read too much into those 2 exhibition games and understanding that we kind of worked on things. The intensity was not there in that Georgetown game, and we said that. And we still, like I said, we made 9 against Purdue. I mean, we made a lot of threes. We just shot a lot. But I'm a hair concerned because, Cam and Trent struggled. They struggled. Jasper was great. I think that there's a chance that he could be a shot chucker, and he's going to have his great games. He'll win you a ball game, and he'll have some where he might shoot you out of.
Yeah.
So I am concerned overall with our shooting right now to a degree. I see positives down the road. I see where it can get better and how those 2 guards being back is going to open things up. But yeah, right now I would say that I'm a little bit concerned, not major, just a little bit.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. And I think part of it is Cam and Trent sometimes struggle with knowing when to take the right shot.
Yeah.
I think sometimes they pass up, honestly, open looks to try to swing it and get an even better look when in reality they already had the best look, So I think they should just get a little more confident because they are really good shooters and be able to rise up over people because they're tall too. So it is an advantage to be able to jump and shoot over people. So they have more time than they think whenever taking a shot.
I thought the same thing. It's a great point you bring up. I think both those guys, Trent and Cam, they are passing up open looks and then taking contested shots. And it's like, let's take those open looks, and that's kind of the reality here. There were some. I've seen both of them to pass up a shot where I'm like, let's let that one fly, and then take one where I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
But I think that's going to come. I think they're going to figure it out. I mean, the Trent's adjusting to playing a lot more. I mean, he played last year, but it wasn't like he was playing 25 minutes a game. I mean, he's got to get used to playing more basketball. Cam has got to get used to. I mean, the two teams he's played so far have been pretty solid teams. He's been at Tulane. I think he's going to adjust to being in the SEC. But those two guys who were supposed to be some of our better shooters have been a bit disappointing early. And I think that's part of the problem with the shooting. Same with Yelovich. I mean, he has not looked good shooting the 3 ball. And I think that what's scary about that is like, yeah, he can make them wide open in practice or, on the machines. What's he going to do in a game? And it has not been good to this point. And it's not like he's been off by a wide margin from 3. So that's definitely concerning as well. But yeah, I think that the thing is we need to see these 2 guards, Aberdeen and Lowe, back in the game. And we're not just talking about for their shooting, it's what they create for others. So I don't want to, once again, we are not trying to start panic among BBN, but it's definitely a conversation that needs to be had because it has been rough through 2 games for a team that needs to shoot the 3 ball well to be successful. I mean, our team last year shot the ball incredibly well. That's the reality. And that has not been the case so far for this basketball team this year early in the season. So it has got to turn around, Carson. Do you think we're going to shoot the ball better tomorrow against Nichols?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a big difference in athleticism between Nichols and Georgetown, 1. And 2, I think we're going to shoot a whole lot better when Lowe gets back anyways.
Yeah.
Because I think he just creates so many opportunities for others that it's going to be so much easier for us.
Yeah. He does create with his quickness. I think he's going to create a lot of good looks for this basketball team. And the other thing I'll add, I talked about this the other day, but when we were watching practice on Wednesday, one of the things that Pope was preaching in transition was finding the easy play. We're going to make a lot of threes in the corner in transition this season. That plays open a lot, and I think our guards are going to be looking for that, and I think Lowe is going to be the best at that with his speed and quickness. He's going to get down that floor and find someone in the corner, boom, 3. So I think that transition threes are going to be a big chunk of our threes. I'll tell you that. And that has not been a good part of our game. The transition was not great against Georgetown. I thought it was better against Purdue than it was against Georgetown, just based on the eyeball test.
Yeah, it's hard to get in transition when the other team scores.
That's a good point, too. When they're scoring darn near 50 first half points, it's going to be hard. Yeah. It's kind of like it's hard to get rebounds when they you can't get a rebound if they score a basket.
Yeah.
That's a fact. I guess you could grab it out of the net and then take it. I mean, but obviously that's not a rebound in the stat sheet.
Yeah.
So, but I want to hear everybody's thoughts on this in the comments. Like, once again, as a community, how do we feel about this? Are we should we be more concerned than we are kind of right now? The reason that I'm not, saying, oh, red panic button is because we're without 2 important pieces to our 3-point shooting attack. If those guys, come in and we shoot like crap the first 3 games of the year and like drop a game to Louisville, then I think we're going to be like, ooh, whoa, what's going on here? I can see that happening. But they could come back and we could shoot 40% tomorrow night against Nichols. We could shoot 40%, and then we go beat Louisville, and this conversation's completely irrelevant. And that's the goal. The hope is for this conversation to be relevant. But it's definitely not time to press the panic button. There's no question. It's not that time yet, but it's time to kind of, raise your eyebrows a little bit and go, okay, or what's going on here? Let's go. We need to shoot well to be successful. So, would you say, so we talked about Trent and Cam. Are any other players that you think we need to get going shooting the ball more to help this basketball team out?
Yeah, I think Colin Chandler, getting him his better looks. I think his quality of shots has been not very good at all. So I think setting him up in the right spots, because he is a good shooter when he's set and he can get a good look at the rim. So I think Colin Chandler for sure. Jasper making his shot selection better too. Just really everyone. I mean, I think everyone on the team can shoot. It's just all dependent on the quality of the shots that they take.
Yeah, I agree with you. The shot quality was awful against Georgetown. And why was it awful? Because there was no offense. There was nothing that resembled an offense. It was, we're going to dribble. All 5 players are going to stand in one spot. Someone's going to dribble it. They're going to look up and see there's 8 seconds left on the shot clock and then do something crazy and not score. That was the offense against Georgetown. I don't know why. I don't know what happened with that. I mean, I believe that we put full effort into winning that basketball game. I mean, some people have been saying clearly there wasn't as much effort in that. That's not how Pope rolls. Pope doesn't do that. Pope put just as much effort, into that game. I'm telling you. I mean, people might not believe that based on the way it looked, but I don't believe for a second Pope was like, well, we beat Purdue. Let's just not care about Georgetown. That's just not how he functions.
Yeah.
And if he did do that, I'd be a little bit disappointed in him. But so that is something that is going to be very, very, very interesting for tomorrow, is how the offense flows with or without those guards and how it turns into open shots, or what kind of shots it turns into for us. So,
yeah.
But we wanted to have that conversation. Tomorrow morning, we'll preview the game against Nichols, but we just wanted this morning to have a conversation. I saw, some people talking about this on social media, and I was like, we need to have this conversation about the shooting, because I definitely can see where folks are coming from on it's a tad bit concerning a few games into the season, a few exhibitions into the season. You know what I mean? So, any other thoughts, Carson?
Oh, that's all I got.
Me too. Well, all right. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We would really appreciate that. Tomorrow morning, we will be back with a preview. We'll put that up right when we finish recording, so it'll be up, around 9, 10, around there. So hit that subscribe button. Preview of the Nichols game tomorrow. Leave in the comments y'all's thoughts on the shooting, what needs to improve, how can we improve it, will it improve? Leave all of those thoughts down in the YouTube comments. Hope everyone has a great Monday, and we will see you next time tomorrow morning right here on the Wildcats Today podcast.